Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and welcome to Dungeons of Dredmor. Now this is a game from Gaslamp Games, produced in 2011. It's a turn-based roguelike dungeon crawler. Gaslamp Games currently is working on, I believe, their second game, Clockwork Empires, which is in early access on Steam, and it kind of made me want to revisit this game I've played just a little bit of. Never really got super into it, but I thought it might be fun to play for the channel. The game has sort of a zany sense of humor. It'll make a nice counterbalance to Door Kickers, which is probably a little bit more serious and currently on the channel. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. There is a tutorial. We're not going to worry too much about that. Instead, we're just going to do a new game. We've got some difficulty settings here. We're going to pop it on to going rogue because losing is fun. We're also going to be playing with permadeath to delete our save if we die, and no time to grind, which will give us smaller floors but like double the XP so that you're still at the same level. That'll make the videos a little bit shorter and easier to manage for me. After that, we're going to go ahead and pop in to our Choose Your Skills screen. And this is basically where you could build your class in Dungeons of Dredmor. The different skills fall under one of three trees of either being warrior, wizard, or rogue type skills. These first six here are pretty much the same, like axes. You get combat bonuses and special attacks and wielding axes. Some of them have other descriptions that are a little bit less explanatory of what is actually going on. Daggers, they aren't just small swords anymore. We've got swords, daggers, axes, maces, pole arms. I love the description for the pole arm is the lazy person's answer to melee combat. Who wants to bother with all that walking over to stab people after all? And then staves as well. Other skills forward as just a weapon class thing. They're going to be either non-combat skills or, wizard type magic skills. Archery, for example, lets you use crossbows. Thrown weaponry lets you throw things such as ninja stars, but in my experience, more often things like baseballs, as that's generally what I've discovered on like the first level or so of the game. After that, we have got some unarmed combat. If you just like to use foot-based combat, you don't do any punching, you just do a lot of kicking. And then dual wielding, which would let you grab two of the same kind of weapon and run around with that. Shield bearer lets you have a shield and do cool shield things. Berserker rage, lets you get enraged as combat goes on. You get bonuses when you get hit, when you hit, etc., etc. Artful Dodger lets you have a better chance of dodging and gain skills relating to that. Master at Arms in order to make your armor better. Vampirism, little difficult to explain. The description here, you do not heal naturally and gain no benefit from food, but instead regain your health by killing things and drinking their blood. Also sparkles, because why not? But primarily, it means that in order to regain health, you've got to kill enemies. You don't get your like natural regen type stuff anymore. Golemancy makes you create golems. Flesh smithing lets you have kind of like golemancy, I think, like flesh smithing skills where you can build things and is a little bit on the gross side. Mathemagic, which is a type of magic relating to math in a game. Psionics, like a mental math. Necronomiconomics, which I probably didn't say right, but is the economy of the undead. Kind of a cool path where your spells are a little bit dangerous to you. You're making like deals from the unknown. It's one of those similar to vampirism where you kind of need to build around it to make it work for you. Unlike something like Viking magic where you can just sort of toss on to a character to gain bonuses. Astrology is, I think, a little bit more of a non-combat, like bonus type skills. Promethean magic is fire-based. And then these next three, magic training, blood magic, and Laywalker all give you like bonuses to the way you regain mana. And then we start getting into some more roguish stuff. Perception lets you find traps. Burglary lets you like steal items and lockpick stuff. Assassination gives you critical hits. The fungal arts gives you poison resistance and lets you find a lot of mushrooms growing around in the game, which are items that have a variety of different effects. Alchemy lets you brew potions. Wand lore lets you make wands and have better usage of those wands. Archaeology, you start the game with a fedora and are generally dashing and roguish. One day you may even get tenure. Obviously an Indiana Jones reference there. Smithing lets you build weapons and armor, and tinkering lets you do stuff with like building traps and other contraptions out of dungeon rubbish. For this first playthrough, we're probably going to grab like swords is just a standard hallmark of weaponry. We'll get shields, berserker rage, master at arms. We're going to be like super tanky here. Grab Viking wizardry for maybe a little bit of synergy there, and smithing, and maybe like assassinations for some critical hit type stuff. I have no idea if this is going to be a good skill choice. I don't know much about like the proper build for beating the game or anything like that. And then I can head into naming our character. Oh, helps if we don't make typos, and we can be male or female. Regardless of what we choose, we get amazing eyebrows. And then we'll jump in. So here, in ages long past, great heroes bound the Dark Lord Dredmor in the depths of the earth, that his evil would trouble the land nevermore. Alas, the foul-lich Dredmor proved most devious and patient, for he has been loosening his magical bonds, slowly freeing himself to again spread his evil in the world of light. He must be stopped. Again. Once more it is a time of adventure, of glory. It is the time for a hero. Unfortunately, this hero is you. You have been summoned by the king to prove yourself, to save the land and its people, to join the heroes of legend in victory over the dungeons of Dredmor. Here's an example of the game's kind of sense of humor. That idea of, unfortunately, this hero is going to be you. So when we pop into the dungeon, we always start off in this sort of room here as an entryway, where there is a food vendor and a drink vendor. Food is used to regain HP, and drink is used to regain mana. We'll go ahead and open up our character inventory, and as you can see, due to our starting skills, we started with a wooden sword, an iron breastplate, and a wooden shield. Also, my little anvil for our smithing, and I think the leather cuirass is just the default, but like the iron breastplate is better, and we got it for a skill. We're mostly a warrior with just a little bit of wizardry and rogue stuff going on. We do get one starting skill, the power of magic steel. The spell grants attacks the power of lightning, and you gain defense against the same. So if we pop this open and then we right click to use our skill, we'll see we gained 2 voltaic resistance as well as 2 voltaic damage. And this is costing 14 mana to just like keep up. So since it's the only spell we have, it's not really a big deal. We'll like drain and regenerate it, I believe. So it should stay on just like all the time. We'll find out if that is actually going to be the case, if it drops for some reason in a moment. Yeah, maybe it's not quite staying balanced as we're losing a little bit. And here we've encountered our first enemy, a Diggle. Now the Diggle is pretty easy. We're going to two-shot him. As you can see, the combat is turn-based. He doesn't attack. If I don't do anything, I don't have to like worry about my reaction speeds or anything like that. Oh, and our first trap. Oh, that didn't go very well. But this Diggle is asleep. This little baddie has noticed us. Little baddies can be a little bit tricky to hit. Oh, and see if I can demonstrate something here. So he's basically going to just chase us. He'll stay like one spot behind. This is Siegfried. He's not quite a Diggle. He's trapped in Diggle form. So he can be a little bit stronger. That crit is nice. So he did a little bit of damage to us, but just one-on-one, not too bad. As you can see, we gained some bonuses from Berserker Rage here. It's going to last for 6 turns. Also our Magic Steel. Yeah. Okay, so every 6 turns it recasts, and we're regaining mana every 9 rounds. So we won't quite keep that up. Now we can, though, drink alcohol to regain our mana. So let's go ahead and chug a Pilsner, and for 6 rounds we are fueled by booze, and that's going to get our mana back on track in the direction it should be. Potion of Invisibility, nice. Oh, that stung. Those dwarvish IEDs, man. Between like maybe 1 drink of alcohol and then another thing that's going to help us keep that magic spell just going all the time, bad blobby, is going to be we're like 1 XP away from leveling up, and when we do level up, we're going to regain all of our HP and mana. Alright, so, let's see, thick skin right now. Let's go ahead and learn Suit Up for an armor bonus, and then casting that now gives us, it does not have a mana cost, it's just a skill. We can't use it once every 40 turns, but it's not going to go away unless we start taking damage, and it'll absorb, I think 12 health, like, it's giving us extra HP regen, that 4 heart circle symbol, 2 to our damage resistance, and 4 to our blocking chance. We've also encountered our first statue of Inconsequentia, which lets us pray to the goddess of side quests. She would like us to find the item Nagwaki, the swarthy death, but be warned it is guarded by Lord Dredmor's trusted servant, Negumkull, the Blasted Moons. So those are the side quests in the game. Usually just to find a specific enemy and kill it, or to find a specific item to retrieve, that sort of stuff. So we're doing a pretty bang-up job, I'd say, against these first enemies. The first level is not too challenging, and oh man, I say that and then I take like 1/4 of my HP against one little blobby enemy. Oh, another thing to demonstrate, we can pass our turn by pressing spacebar so that enemies can walk in and we can hit them instead of having to walk into their attack range and take the first shot that way. I think we're doing just fine though, so let's go ahead and skip down to just the second level of the dungeon and see how that goes for us. I haven't previously played in the No Time to Grind, but a lot of times I like to just head on down, because once you level up like once, gain just a couple of skills, the enemies on the first floor aren't too challenging, and there's maybe like 1 more level to be gained out of all the XP they would give you. Oh, that hurt. Maybe I should not... oh, never mind. That hurt too. Okay. I may be red at math here, but 45% chance of success should not take like 8 tries. Oh my god. Finally. Well, good an opportunity as any to show how restoring health would work. I'm going to eat some cheese here. Nom nom nom. Recast that, and now we have like a ton of HP regen. So like as we take a step, we're now regaining 1 HP per round fairly easily. Ugh. Alright, and we've got no longer little baddies, but just regular sized baddies. Oh, he's got a cute little butt we can see. Nice. Oh, he's not dead though. There we go. I did turn on auto loot, so just walking over stuff picks it up for me, so that's nice. Oh man, as you can see, my portrait is getting a little bloodied and beaten here. Picked up some Lutefisk here, which is technically food, although if you know anything about Lutefisk, technically food is probably the best way to describe it. We don't really want to use this to eat. We'll stash it in our inventory there, and it's going to serve another purpose later. We do have a Diggle egg. We can om nom nom on that. And some blue cheese. So we'll use that to get back to full HP. Oh, and they all three spotted us at the same time. Oh, he has ranged. An electro blobby, huh? Alright, and we find ourselves a little bit surrounded. I'm going to take out these little guys first so I can just focus down the zombie, as he's going to take several turns. And we had just eaten some food, which was a good thing, as our health was regenning during that fight. No real danger of getting killed. I did find a toady. I'm sorry, but your love interest is in another dungeon. This monster has not noticed you, and he is asleep. Let's go ahead and wake him up with some very rude smacks on the head there. Nice, and we leveled up again. So we could gain this attack. You have a chance to execute Luchtenauer's Overhigh. What exactly is an Overhigh? So glad you asked. It's a particularly Teutonic and particularly painful attack, which you have a chance to execute with each melee attack upon learning. Damage scales with your burliness. Yeah, why not? Let's check that out. So basically, I think it's kind of like a critical type strike that can just happen occasionally and does more damage. Getting that off of our sword skill tree. Oh, and we found our first shop. Very nice. Shops are staffed by Brax the Demon here. We don't want to make him too mad. We could use him to sell stuff. You know, we're probably not going to get into smithing here on this first run. So let's sell those, and then we could buy a rusty sword. So the options you get buy, don't buy, or just pick it up. Picking it up would be akin to stealing it. When you try to leave the shop, Brax would have some words to say if we tried to steal that sword. And he's got 187 HP. That is not a fight that we want to be in. Some of the other stuff way out of our price range, so we're just going to leave that shop behind for now. You will notice on the mini-map in the upper right, the shop remains pink, so it's easy for you to find where all your shops are and get back to them if you need to offload some loot later. Oh, I think we just used our overhigh there and basically one-shot that Diggle, so that is nice. Oh, and another one. Probably not too happy about us stealing all of the Diggle eggs, but they're yummy food, man. Hunger, of course, being a primary killer when you're dungeoneering. In this game, not really from hunger, but just running out of healing items is an easy way to find yourself in a situation you can't get back out of. Alright, new enemy, Death. Spelled a little bit creatively there. But right, let's see if we can not fight both of these guys at once. Come back here to a bottleneck. We'll deal with the zombie as he yells, "Strength in numbers, boys, strength in numbers" at us. Ooh, that was a scary sound when Death hit us, but it didn't do too much to us. Dead Electro Blobby. Like 3-shotting enemies. I definitely like that to pick up a little bit. 2-shotting is a little bit better. The Mellow Shrine makes you want to like chill and stuff. Usually there's like a side quest or something where you'll have to bring items back to the Mellow Shrine in order to chill them out. And we did also just find our first Anvil of Krong. You can place equipment on the Sacred Anvil of Krong in order to make it way cooler. We don't really have any items that are amazing, but like just to demonstrate, do this, and now we gained 1 acidic resistance. So that's good. Acidic resistance is best achieved by covering yourself head to toe in baking soda. Failing that, we suggest the adventurers fall back. Magic rings, again. So now our sword provides us a little bit of resistance to acid. That's kind of fitting for a poison sword. And we encountered a dead end going this way. So I guess the true path forward is going to be back over here, right next to the stairs down. Let's circle up. Oh, get a few deaths. And an enraged Diggle. Oh. Come on, enraged Diggle. And we woke up the third death. That was a good hit. Alright. And that fight took a little bit less than half of our HP to get through. So I could have gotten dangerous real quick. We will go ahead and repop our skill. We'll eat a Diggle egg. And our mana's not doing too bad. I think we might have to chug a Pilsner from time to time, but I think primarily leveling up is going to keep our spell always active. Adventuring pants. It's not clear if these pants have ever been washed. Lovely. We also got some fine cheeses here. Very nice. It's important, even when you're off dungeoneering, that you still eat appropriately for your social standings. Nice. We're now setting stuff on fire. What is causing? I'm not even entirely sure why the fire stuff is happening. I imagine it was due to the blessing that we got from the anvil, but it doesn't seem to say anything about that. Huh. I don't know. Well, maybe that's our magic steel. Maybe it's the lightning has a chance to set them on fire as well. Alright, let's go ahead and deal with death here. Oh, nice. We leveled up for our troubles. And let's see. Guess we'll just keep to the sword practicing thing. More damage never hurt anybody. So, well, more damage never hurt the person who did it anyway. And break open a fancy urn. Ugh. And then an octo. Spellcasting cephalopods with a taste for human brains. Make calamari out of them. It's peaceful and not attacking me, though. Well, we can solve that pretty quick. Oh, man, he was facing the other way. Well, that's cool. The fire damage actually finished him off, though. Also, we're about to get our first taste of Heroic Vandalism. As you can see, plus 200 XP for that, which is pretty decent, like a fourth of a level all by itself. I also just got a leather cap, so that's cool. I almost thought it looked like a wig at first. Alright, so we're doing pretty decently on the second floor. I'd say our choice to just dive down here has gone A-okay. The first floor being generally a pushover in my experience, so that may be a strategy that I employ often, is just as soon as I am able to, going ahead and moving down a floor so that we can get to leveling up a little bit quicker. Oh, and we also got Lost Wizard keys. Whoa, whoa, it's an ambush. Okay, so a bunch of Diggles just used their little drill noses here to pop out of nowhere. Thankfully, there's a bit of a bottleneck. So, uh-oh. There was a bit of a bottleneck until the other Diggles decided to dig up behind me. Alright, we handled that fine. Just one Diggle left. Yeah, you got taken care of. And we just got some lost wizard keys. This is a dimensional key and bears a mysterious legend. Property of Dig Dug of the Golemancer. Wizardry while you wait. Rates unreasonable. And now we get a dimensional key widget, which we can click on to come into a little pocket dimension here. The pocket dimension gives us like a place we could store loot and stuff like that. It does have a cooldown once you use it though, so so it's a little hard to use to like try to get out of fights or anything. Also, you're prevented from doing any sort of healing while you're in that pocket dimension, so that's not really the reason for it existing. I think it's just so that you have somewhere to like stash crafting items, and inventory management can be done a little bit easier. Alright. Oh no, traps have activated. Oh, lovely. So there is like a little log here of what's going on, if you haven't spotted that yet, and it occasionally pops up with stuff like, oh no, traps have activated. Plastic ore? I don't think that's how plastic gets made, but sure, man, whatever. And these little crafting recipes here, I don't know if I'll get into those, like certainly not for this first video. I don't really know too much about it, but that's how items can be crafted. Usually I end up buying my gear through the shopkeepers, but there is a like fancy crafting system where you can make cool items. The recipes for those items, doesn't matter if you, the player, know them, the character has to actually know them. And so, like for instance, I can use like this alchemy box to do some crafting. These are the crafting recipes I know. I think I start the game with some, obviously. Like I know that Diggle eggs can be combined into brimstone. I can make Masalov cocktails by taking an empty flask, aquavita, and adding some brimstone to it. I don't know why the bottle the aquavita is in can't count as an empty flask, but oh well. It's just the have ingredients. Okay, so I don't. Yeah, that was just like everything, but I have the skill to make these things. I have the ingredients to make God only knows how they stomach that stuff. But yeah, that's a rundown of the crafting items. You know, I've got a alchemy box. There's like smithing tables and just like different items used to craft different types of things. And then you have to have ingredients as well. That'll probably be something to look into later. But for right now, mostly I'm just hitting things. And then when I get into trouble, I hit things harder. And so far, that strategy has been working just fine for me. Yeah, Conan the Librarian. Alright, why go around when you can go right through your foe? Why not? So, we just gained a new, like, active attack. I think... Okay, it does damage like 3 squares in front of us. Okay, so we can use that when enemies are all lined up. Cool. Gotcha. So I can try that here. Yeah, not too bad. And then on the other side of some bars there, so not too much I can do to them. Oh. But I think that Diggle has got some plans for me as he dug himself right on top of a trap. Very nice. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Sometimes the roll for disarming traps is just like you go 10 in a row or something. Fusro da. Apparently that blobby had played Skyrim. Potion of lively regeneration. Cool. Oh, and we got a ring. Blaze Kra, the President of Legs. And that little cross symbol is enemy dodge reduction, so it makes us more likely to hit. Yeah, and I can be hurt by my own fire. I just wanted to confirm that me walking around the puddle of flame that I was leaving on the ground was actually worth the time and effort. I say as I immediately don't do it on the very next enemy I find. Dead Diggle. Oh, and man. Alright. Like, I wasn't doing it until I brought up the fact that I wasn't doing it, and then I started walking over all of the fire that I was leaving on the ground. Okay. So, doing pretty well on this second floor. I think once I get to the point where I'm like one-shotting any enemies on a regular basis, like that's usually when it's time to get out of here and move on to bigger and better things. But some of these enemies are still pretty challenging for me. Yeah, it's like a one-shot that guy. I don't know if that was a critical or what exactly. I didn't hear my... Yeah, like that was a critical. Crippling Wound, Berserker Rage. Oh, and something shot at me from down there. You are right. My health is getting a little low. I think a lot of that had to do with me sort of stupidly walking over things that were doing damage to me. But might as well nom on an egg or two. Oh, hello zombie. Now I can just wait for that fire to go out before proceeding. Pick up my shiv. Oh, that was a trap that I did not see. That was a trap that I did see, but it still hit me. Achbaki, the gnashing tapestries. Okay. Some counter and dodge chance from those shoes. And a nice bit of gold and or Zorkmids, the game's currency. Which I think is a name purely chosen for, we thought it sounded really silly, and so we decided to call them Zorkmids. If there is an actual currency out there that are called Zorkmids, I apologize profusely for offending you, but I'm pretty sure that that is just a chance for absurdity, and that's why it is called that. Actually, I meant to use another skill. Oh, and a couple of swords. We like swords. Nothing better, especially after we've imbued it on the anvil. We might not find anything better for quite some time. I actually really like that. Oh, why did I do that? I actually really like that idea of having the ability to like buff your weapons pretty regularly, so that, you know, if you find stuff that suits your character build, you can just keep adding to it instead of just making it obsolete by finding new stuff. Gives you an opportunity to sort of build a character that you can have some fondness for and feel like he's progressing, instead of him just finding new random powered things throughout a dungeon and going forward. There's a few enemies. None of them are really lined up. Ugh. Okay. Yeah, I know that my health is low. Let's go ahead and eat something. There we go. I kind of liked just getting the ground burning for them and then enticing them to keep walking into it. Oh, and now the monsters are afraid and running in fear. Apparently me killing, I think, their head zombie friend convinced them that they didn't want to mess with me anymore, and they effed right off. And respawn our armor there. Oh, also just noticed our mana is getting dangerously low. Let's chug a couple of sewer brews, which you'll notice gives us fueled by booze for 10 rounds where we're getting HP, but it also gives us 1 round of a nip of courage. I feel stronger and more aggressive. And if you keep drinking, there's actually some like comical effects that kind of go on. So now I've got nip of courage for 5 turns instead of just 1. Eventually you can start getting basically drunk and less coordinated, and all that stuff can start to happen to you. Probably going to level up in this room, and then we'll be able to also hit the statues for some more heroic vandalism. Nice. Sword lore. Studious research into the use of swords has unlocked terrible secrets. You have a chance of executing exceptionally grievous attacks in combat while using swords. Yeah, okay, we'll do it. I pulled the lever. The lever didn't seem to do anything.
Heroic vandalism.
Also just noticed, I guess I think the guys in that one room that all eventually ended up fleeing were part of the 35th cohort, the Antique Lichies. So they were like a group of guys, one of them being stronger than the rest. And I think when I killed him, the others just said, nope, and took off for a bit. Your spell does no damage. Why? Okay. I don't know why it was showing your spell does no damage over and over again. Unless I, like, walked on a trap I didn't quite notice, and the trap was trying to hurt me. Okay. Yeah, now we're just blazing through, probably getting to the point where level 3 is going to become something to consider sooner rather than later. Maybe our next set of stairs down we encounter, we will just go ahead and strike forward, which is kind of like striking fear into the hearts of men, but a little bit different. Oh, we got another one of these. Go ahead and just continue to make an uber sword here. So this is giving us 2 to nimbleness. Neat. Okay. Fair enough. Alright. And where did this put us? Back over here. That's up. No, can't go that way. Alright. Consult the map. Map says down and to the left. We'll do what the map says. I think these usually... No. Oh. Interesting. Infernal Empowerment. So, I've gotten all fiery. You have been infused with infernal power and can really feel the burn. Tomb of Fire or Ice. The text contains especially lengthy tangential descriptions of the dishes which appear at the feasts of nobility. You're unable to extract any useful information. I have no idea what that does. Oh, I see. Okay, so had I walked further into the room, I guess, like, this was fire, this was ice. I could have stepped on either one and gained some kind of power from it. That's neat. Yeah, the Enraged Diggle is nice enough to stand on the flames for us there. Tesla bolts, more heroic vandalism. Door that's way too hard to open. Just looking for a way down at this point. Yeah, nah. Just ignore them. Well, he doesn't want to be ignored. Okay. Well then, so this is a monster zoo. Monster zoos have lots of people inside. And they don't like us very much. And are going to try to kill us. There are a couple of different strategies that can come into play here for other character types. Like there are spells that are good against crowd control and all of that jazz. For me, I'm mostly just going to be punching them real hard in the face and hoping that that strategy plays out for me. I did back up a little bit here to get like a bottleneck on them. I've got to deal with 2 of them at once, but that's a lot better than like 4 of them at once. And they've all started yelling things at me. My personal favorite was, "You are a pimple on the dungeon floor." As you can see, the turns are also taking quite a bit longer to play out, as all of the characters inside are taking actions. I'm also going to go ahead and just heal once really quick here, so that... Oh, I did not mean to step there. Apparently I killed whatever was standing right in front of me, and that led to me walking deeper into these guys. Oh, this is not good. This is not even a little bit good. That may have been like the misstep that gets me killed. I have 1 HP left. Alright, time to start looking for a Hail Mary pass. Good regen. So specifically, I'm hoping we have a potion. Let's go sort. That might teleport us, which I don't think we do. The handy wand, I think that teleports other things to us. Invisibility. Oh, I invisibled. They'll never even know that they killed me. Well, congratulations, you have died. Alright, well, that was our first foray into the dungeons of Dredmor. Could have gone worse, could have gone better. The first Monster Zoo here did us in. Rest in peace, Reddit Math, the adventure. The Quest of Lobster. I was killed by a spell mine. Oh, so like one of the enemies in the room must have actually stepped on a trap. And so it did damage to the enemy, but it also did damage to me. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you enjoy some more in the future. Maybe a little bit of me getting a little bit better at the game as time goes on. If you have any tips or tricks, feel free to drop them in the comments below. I always enjoy seeing your feedback. And I will catch you guys next time.